Hello, I'm back. Um, in terms of progress today, I have been doing quite a lot of background work. So I have been trying to put together a method of storing progress. So far, we I have created a few procedures and functions here relating to goals, and I've created a little I guess section of a screen here on the dashboard, which is to record goal values. And something I realized while I was trying to do this was that I'm going to have to somehow create goals and then pass them around, because from the way I originally saw it, I could just create these methods here, which would firstly set progress. So there I have a progress table where a progression is stored. Say someone uses the app and then they eat a lot of carbohydrate high foods, so much so that they attain their goal. When they are when they have reached their goal, then on the progress table, or even if they haven't reached the goal, every day, every time they use the app, they eat something, they drink water, it's stored in this table for every day. And say they eat something now, they eat something else later. In the progress table, whatever entry was there for that day will be overridden, and then its values will be increased. And the goal table is where all of the data on a specific goal stored. So the user ID, the user who has the goal, the unit that the goal is measured in, say grams, cups, like if we're talking about water, cups of water, grams, calories, whatever unit this goal is measured in, the item being the item of the goal, say water intake, protein intake, carbohydrate intake, target being the target amount that the user is to reach in terms of that goal. So say 3 would be 3. So we're talking about water, and the user decides to measure in cups, right? We say 3, target is 3 cups item, and then 3, and then cups for unit of water. So target item, target unit item, and then start date's the day that the goal was initialized, and then description is just the description of the goal that the user can add. And I have been trying to show this progress on the dashboard, but then I have run into problems where I'm going to have a lot of variables in order to get this to work, because I need to this update these edit boxes here and these progress bars every time person selects a particular day. So let's say we go back at one day, say we go to the 3rd of April, we should be able to see the progress from the 3rd of April and the 3rd of April only. Or we went to the 5th of July, we want to see the progress for the 5th of July. And I'm still trying to decide exactly how to do this, because first there is the user side of the goals, and the way that I put that is that I don't have a goal object because my idea was to have a separate object which stores a goal, its value, its target, and its current progress on a particular day. And I saw that as the best way of going about this because I realized that I'm going to have to pass a lot of variables through these procedures in order to do that. But then at the same time, I do think that it may be possible to go without an entirely different object which would store the data of each goal. So the way that I would hope to do that, if I did decide to make it a separate object, say I said the goal is class t object equals, okay, so then we'd have our goal ID would be an integer. We would have our user ID be the ID of the user who owns the goal. Have our unit, goal unit, so cups, grams, whatever unit we choose. Have item being the goal item. And then I guess this could be useful. So as start date, t date. Then we start creating our variable for our properties. So property goal ID, an integer, read, then write. Wait, no, not write. Have goal ID. And now we have these properties which will store values relating to each goal. So, right, user ID. And the point is to have a bunch of these variables, and then we get values on each particular goal. Now my problem with this method is that it's going to require me to create more and more objects. And as much as I love objects because they make it really easy to store information on a particular thing, right? You can store whatever information on a particular thing and then edit, change up that information very, very easily. But then I don't want to convolute everything by having an incredible amount of objects, because so far I have quite a few objects, and I feel as if it's going to become slightly difficult to manage them, especially with this object. We have to decide exactly how I am going to measure it. But at the same time, I am a fan of how I can do something like this. Say f date, f progress date, p date. So this would be the dates when some progress is recorded. Actually, I don't need to do that. I don't really need to do that, actually. And now that I think about it, it is actually a very, very useful thing to do. Item, string, read. Whoa, okay. Write f item, then properly start date, string, read, no, not string, date, read as start date, write and start date. Okay, so now that we have this, everything that we have now, we are going to have to go about getting these values. So let's say I have a function. No, I can't. Yeah, I can't do that actually. Okay. So let's say no, I need this first. Structure create, then constructor tgo dot create. Okay, cool. So let's U for user ID, then I for item string. User ID is U, item is I. Okay, cool. So now we have our basic object. We are obviously going to need to add a few methods, so I can take these and then use them here instead. This is still a very, very experimental thing, but I am starting to see the benefits that come with setting the goals in a separate object, especially because my user unit is becoming massive. So there are a lot of procedures and functions and such that the user already has. So it would be a lot easier to maintain the T goal place all. Okay, there we go. Did you replace them in yet? No. Okay. So I'm going to have to spend a bit of time fleshing this out. But I think, okay, sorry, I was interrupted for a moment there. And I kind of lost my train of thought. But then, well, as I was doing, I have to put together a few things here. So let's say lib. Do I need any units? No. No, there's no. Oh, yeah. Just need to get the database. Okay, data is missing. Identify redeclared. Oh, oh, it was pasted twice. Okay, I see. Okay, much better. And then I don't need these. And there we go. So now I don't need all of these. I don't need all of these parameters now because these would already be saved. So set progress, get progress. Don't really need to say set goal target because it will be set. Get goal target. Don't need that to be very, very complicated. And get goal ID. Still need this. Oh, get goal. Okay, get goal ID. Now we can just change up our parameters. Cause okay, so initially this was going to be a lot more real. This was going to be a lot more convoluted because my initial idea was to handle everything in the user unit and then have everything to do with users be taken care of there. But this is way more helpful. And it's not as okay. Go unit. Item. Let's add a target. Target where property target PL. Okay. And then go out unit. Okay, so now how I would coordinate this with okay, so we're going to have to okay, I see. So I'm realizing this is going to take quite a few more procedures than I'd originally hoped. But I think that's fine. This is set well no, okay. Say show progress for now. I realized that I was starting to procedure show progress. Okay, the variable. Mm. I wanted to do each goal individually, but then I realized that that's going to make a few things a bit more difficult than I'd hope it would. Oh, no, not really, actually. Let's say show progress. Then I just say that, and then goal. Okay, now we say goal equals goal dot no t goal dot Yates. User ID is current user's user ID. Then the item is that. Now let's get our target. Oh, real. Oh, goal dot get goal target. Then our value. Now let's do this a bit differently. So in terms of getting progress, yeah, red date. Also get a value that will store the goals. Okay, so I'm going to need the date as a parameter. Date t date. We need the date the goal was recorded. So let's say get progress, and then on that day. Okay, a bit confused there. Line 93. Okay. Now, say we'd say if, no, that won't work. Oh, I see now. Set progress bar. Let's say we don't have that as a parameter. Yet as item, then case index string. Okay, I need string utils. So let's get rid of this. Let's get string utils. Then goal dot item value, and then target. Okay. String Yeah, that's a bit, no, it's fine. Okay, index string of, that case index string, that's item, calorie, water, carbohydrate, protein, fats. I think that's it. Yeah, just close that. Now one be calorie, and say begin dot, let's try this, equals seal target. So now the point is to say that the maximum of that progress bar is the target. I initially did a calculation which would get this as a percentage and then set that to the value, but then I think it may be a bit better to do this instead. Now we seal the value, and I believe that is it. Then two, wait, we need an end. And do something like this. Water and PRG water dot max seal of the target, then the position is seal of the value, and then I'll just do this to everyone one by one. So carbs, again, I do think there may be a better way of doing this, but this is the way that I have found would probably work the best. So let me say seal. Let me just keep doing this over and over and over again. Dot vision. So seal, then dot position, seal of value. Now what to do when a user does not have any goal for a particular item? I'm not 100% sure yet. One idea that I had was just giving users default goals. With seal, but then making both the target and the value 0, or at least the value 0 and the target some very high number. Okay, so now those should be populated. Should also do this, we detail calories dot text be get something that I was doing here. I can just copy that. Our target, no, our value to plus target fixed 8 and then 2. And we just do this for everyone. I have to name the other edit boxes though. Okay, cool. ebt water dot text relay. Would be better if I didn't have to call this every single time, and I think I realized how I would be able to do that. I think at the same time it would just be creating another function that would say no, not a function but a procedure that would say 5 minutes. And actually that's something that I've realized a lot, and I may actually end up making a video on that, which is, to me, the idea of, actually I can just copy this. To me, that would be the idea of trying to simplify a process by creating functions which supposedly simplify the process. Okay, little error there. Oh. So it would be in a situation where, say, we had some component that needs to be resized, and instead of resizing it manually, we created a function that would resize the component. So every time we want to resize some component, we reference that specific function, and then we call the component name every time. And I don't think that's a bad thing per se. I think that there can be value in trying to make something easier for yourself, especially like that. That definitely simplifies a lot of things, but at the same time, it can be really unhelpful. Now, how can I... Okay, so now I'm at a stage where I want to store all of the goals a user has and then only show values based on those goals. Or just assume that every user has goals on everything, which would also make sense because if each item is set automatically, then the user will have something to strive for whether or not they decided to set it or not. So let's say oh no, but then I can't do that in the loop because then that will recreate the same thing over and over again. Let's say no, I don't have to do that actually. Let's come here. No, I don't need to do it here either. Actually, okay, I could try that. Array items, array 1, 2. How many items do we have? Okay, we should be starting at 0. 0, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so we have 5 values here. 1 to 5 of string. Array items. Or we could just make it a constant array. Then we just take these. So these are all the values which can have goals. I should be able to do that. It's not supposed to be an array of integers though. Unless we do something like this. Well, that doesn't make sense either. Okay, I'm gonna have to see an example somewhere. Based on my knowledge, I can just create an array like this. But if not possible, then array 1 to 5 string. No, array items equals no, that's not how you do it. Wait, you put semi. No, that doesn't make sense either. Then how are we supposed to